You made it. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in and affording me some of your invaluable time and allowing me to serve snippets of my life that might inspire you, that might empower you, that might evolve you, or that might enlighten you. So it's Khalid again from Infinite Potential. I am a NLP mindset specialist and a consciousness engineer. It's Sunday morning in sunny Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm sitting here feeling overwhelmed with blessings and being extremely grateful. And whenever I have this feeling of overwhelmness, I have a desire to share, I have a desire to serve, I have a desire to permeate this inspiration, this energy. And sometimes I write poetry, other times I'll just journal into my, enter a little journal entry, or get my book out and I'll read a book or write my book. Or other times I'll quite simply share a video. So again, thank you. And I'm humbled, I'm honored, blessed, and grateful. What shall we speak about today? Oh, well, 2 days ago, sitting with some friends, and some of my friends were so excited because it was what we would call a long weekend in South Africa. In the UK, you would call it a bank holiday. That Monday is a holiday, and they were so excited and so anticipative and so inspired that it was a long weekend. And I thought, why? Why does it make such a difference? And they go, dude, it's the time we get to do what we really love. And I had an aha moment, and I had a grateful moment. I had an extraordinary moment of gratitude. And I thought to myself, my goodness, we live most percentage, biggest part of our lives, doing things that we have to do, and then we look forward to be having given the opportunity of doing things that we want to do. And I introspected and I reflected and I realized that I own my time. I wake up every morning and I'm inspired and I'm touched by the hand of God. I wake up every morning with fervent desire and do what I love every moment of my day. I know that sounds surreal. I know that sounds airy-flairy. I know it sounds all out there, but I want to say to you in no uncertain terms, you are the creator. You are the master. You can dictate and you can choose the life you want to live. And you can live every day in this magical, mystical flow of life. Often, I see people live in this magical, mystical flow of life. I meet people who are inspired perpetually. I meet people who live constantly in gratitude, in bliss. And every aspect of all the core values are abundant and limitless, and they're fulfilling, and they have great relationships. They have enough money to live the life they live. They do what they love and love what they do. They have great bodies and they have great personalities and they socialize in all the right areas and they do everything that seems right. It almost seems like the big lights, bright lights, perfect magazine lifestyle. And a common answer I got from most of them when I questioned them about their lifestyle and their outlook to life was one simple word. They all brought it down to one common element, and that is luck. Now, what is luck? Voltaire described luck as a word invented to describe how we get known effects derived from unknown causes. And that's powerful. That's such an amazing analogy of luck. A word invented to describe how we get known effects derived from unknown causes. So, what he said in a nutshell was there is no law of luck. God did not decide to favor some people and unfavor or disfavor the rest of them. God gave everyone the same innate mental wellness, everyone the same human creative potential. You create, dictate, and design your own luck. Luck is an attitude. Luck is a state of mind. Luck is a vibration, a frequency, and a rhythm that you give off by a deeper understanding of how life operates, how the subconscious mind works, of our greatness that resides within us. And when you activate this understanding and you live in that flow, that's when you live this life of fulfillment and abundance. So let's chat about that today. And I'm not going to go into the 5 keys and the 3 principles and the 20 notes you need to make down. We're just going to have an awesome chat. We're just going to share. We're just going to introspect. I'm just going to relate direct experiences and understandings of my life that, of course, worked for me and that might just work for you if you just seem to get a deeper understanding. You know, having technology and the access to all the gurus in the world that are currently available to us, and those who have moved on but left indelible marks on humanity and have become superfluous and have immortalized their wisdom through poetry, through books, through YouTube videos, through inspiring talks, just through expression. And having done all of these understandings, I've kind of brought it down to a few major modalities that will essentially create this life of fulfillment and abundance. And I want to share this with you. I'm actually going to start with the negative first. And I'm going to talk about the mistakes I have made in my life, or I have been making in my life, that always deluded this lifestyle that I've wanted. You know, it's like you're trying to grab water and it will delude you. But if you simply embrace water, the water will embrace you. So I'm going to speak about 3 fundamental mistakes I've made in my life. And I'm probably going to speak about 3 or 4 fundamental desires and mindsets that I've created in my life to live this life of fulfillment and abundance. So the first fundamental mistake, and I call it fundamental because it is essentially fundamental, is when we forget about our spirituality, when we forget to connect to our inner, higher divine self, when we kind of edge God out. And if you take the initials of edge God out, you get exactly what I'm talking about. When we're driven by the ego, we're driven by the life of form, practicality, and physicality, that we forget the deeper, more spiritual, more energetic, more innately potentialized life that we were meant to live. In order to access the spirituality, we can use meditation, prayer, insightful thought, insightful videos, insightful books, or just being still and just introspecting and creating a deeper understanding of activating that inner voice, the mega me within you, the intuitive voice, which is the voice of God within you. And when you start giving an amplification to that voice, you kind of fulfill everything you want in the outside world. But if you kind of drown out that voice and amplify the logical, practical mind and voice, you're always chasing your own tail. You're always looking for more fulfillment. You get caught up in this life of form, and you really misunderstand where all the potential lies, where all the creative genius lies. It doesn't lie in your ability to do things. It lies in your ability to access that within you, which has the ability to do things outside of you. So the first fundamental mistake is always remember spirituality. Always remember getting in tune with your higher self and developing a routine and a mindful awareness of tapping into that blueprint of deep subconscious creative potential energy and aligning with that to the divine matrix, and then executing it out in the practical world. The second fundamental mistake we all make is responsibility. You need to be 100% fully responsible for all your actions, positive or negative, within your life. For all the events that befall you, you need to identify why I vibrated that, why I created that, why I attracted that, why has that pitched up in my life, what is it there for me to learn. I often say that we have the ABC of the victim, which is accusation, blame, complain. And then we have the ABC of the victor or the master or the creator, which is what we're speaking about, which is action, belief, choice. The moment we stop complaining and accusing and blaming, and we identify that we need to take action, and we expand our belief, and we realize that we have a life of choices, our life will inspirationally change for the better. And the third fundamental mistake I have made in my life is I don't celebrate often enough my outcomes. I don't celebrate often enough my abilities. I don't celebrate often enough my potential. I'm so busy trying to acquire more and more, trying to acquire more wealth, more abundance, trying to acquire better health, trying to acquire better relationships, trying to acquire more bigger social circle, that we completely negate to celebrate that which we have already achieved. We need to amplify and expand and celebrate our achievements. We need to look back to where we were a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, and look at where we are today. And look at all this deeper understanding and wisdom that we have aligned with today. And once we align with that, celebrate that. Give it gratitude. Give it thankfulness. And then continue in this path of more knowledge and more wisdom. But celebrate all that you have achieved and celebrate more of it all the time. You will get your subconscious mind into a culture of celebrating achievements, of celebrating wisdom, of celebrating positive outcomes. And we'll get more of that. So the three fundamental key mistakes we make is: one, always remember your spirituality. Two, be responsible. Take full responsibility for everything happening around you. Take full responsibility for what you think you don't control, because deep under, subliminally, in an underlying current, we do essentially control everything that we attract within our lives. And three, celebrate. The fundamental mistakes we made is we don't celebrate enough. So, now that we've discussed the three mistakes we make, I would like to discuss three mindset techniques of achieving this life we want. And the first technique I want to speak about is our dominant thoughts. Our dominant thoughts create our reality. Our dominant thoughts will magnetize and attract everything that we're creating within those dominant thoughts, and that will then map out the life we live. You see, the brain is not hardwired as we were led to believe up to the 1980s. The brain is actually soft-wired. We create new neurological pathways perpetually, all the time, instantly, effectively, or over time. Quite simply put, the neurons we fire become the neurons we wire. So when we have dominant thoughts of positivity, of desire, of gratitude, of blessings, of gratefulness, we then increase the blueprint of that dominant thought. We increase the creative potential of the dominant thought, and our whole external world then gets dictated to by those positive dominant thoughts, and we will create positivity around everything we see. We will attract positivity around everything we see. On the same hand, if our dominant thoughts are negative, then we will attract more of that negativity. We will attract more of the lack of desire. We will attract more of the lack of gratefulness. We will attract more of depression. We will attract more of debt, more of broken relationships, lack of love. So we need to become mindful, and we need to perpetually ponder on what our dominant thoughts, and identify that these dominant thoughts then dictate and create the world we live in. So become mindful of your dominant thoughts. The second fundamental technique I want to speak about in living this life of fulfillment and abundance is the power of the subconscious mind. We've spoken about it many times, but I want to reiterate the power of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the mind that runs 95% of our lives. It runs our blueprint and our reality and our internal representation of everything we want. The conscious mind simply just